Okay, peace. Welcome back. Secret House.
Secret
Again,
House.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Consider joining our Patreon. Also support the people that support us and a lot of homies of the show. Check out our new Sonic Cloth deep dive on the new or his new Billy Woods deep dive that we did with him. 9 albums, 3 hours, lots of fucking sitting down and talking. Check out Caltrops Press. Of course, these links are all in the bio. And as you can see from behind me, we are big supporters of the Noname Book Club and the project they're doing over there. Today, we are getting into the new Blu and Real Bad Man album called Bad News. It's real short, so we'll keep this kind of short too, I imagine. I don't know. We talk a lot sometimes. 8 songs, 23 minutes. It released fairly recently. And let's see. Like, how do you know Blu?
I've been a huge Blu fan for a long time, actually. Since Her Favorite Color, obviously Below the Heavens, Give Me My Flowers While I Can Still Smell Them, fucking New York. Yeah, all of those albums, like bangers, big fan.
What was it
for a long time?
Red Hot Los Angeles Summer.
UCLA, all that shit.
I can't tell you exactly when I got into him. I kind of feel like he was one of those artists. Like, first off, he's hella West Coasty, and I love that about him. He's from Los Angeles. People might know I'm also from Southern California, Oceanside, and Inglewood, and I love how he reps Los Angeles. I of course know Below the Heavens is considered a classic by many people that heard it. I think he kind of reached like an apex too at that point. Wasn't he on like a XXL magazine cover, like freshman class? Was he with Kendrick or? He was with some cast. It was like maybe Lil B or something, but people were expecting a lot of great things from him. And then I remember there was like some controversy, but I don't follow that type of shit. So
likewise.
I don't follow that type of shit. I just know him as a really dope, phenomenally talented MC who reps the West Coast and fucking rhymes his ass off.
Oh, yeah.
As far as Real Bad Man, I knew his album. I heard his album with Boldy that came out a few years ago, maybe last year. I don't know. I didn't really listen to it too much. I think I was just getting burnt out on Boldy. Nothing against him, just all me. But apparently this guy is like he is the former creative director for Stussy.
Okay, yeah.
Adam
Because
Weissman.
when you Google Real Bad Man, you just get like clothing.
Yeah.
So I was a bit.
It sounds like a collective too, the way that they use it. I didn't know if he was a they them or
sure
if it's they are a they them, but yeah, I don't know. I love blues. Over the last few years, I kind of paid attention to a few of his albums. Last year, he had the collaboration album with Fat Lip that I thought was really dope. The End of the World Demos, I forget what it was called, but I listened to that with my man Pauly Rhymes when I was out in Honda last summer, and it was a good vibe. Also, I think my favorite work from him that's come out recently is he did a collaborative album with Fat Jack, all about like the underground. It's called Underground Makes the World Go Round. So there's songs on there talking about like battling AC Alone and fucking loving Micah 9 as an OG, and I've always appreciated that because I think that underground West Coast Project Blow Good Lifers are some of the like most criminally unchampioned legends of hip hop culture, and Blu always puts it down for them, so shout out for that. I recommend checking out both of those albums. Actually, they're pretty dope. Let's get right into the album. Like, overall thoughts?
It's all right. I feel like my tastes in music and what Blu is setting out to do have like dovetailed over the last decade or so. I was fully on board when Blu was like a very kind of literary, brain feeder affiliated, lots of Sam I Am, Flying Lotus beats. His lyricism was a bit more abstract than it is on here. Whereas this album is kind of like a collection of bangers. It's pretty hard. It's like it's very affectionate towards the West Coast and that kind of and also just the sort of history of hip hop. I mean, CL Smooth is on there.
Shout out to CL Smooth. And he sounded like he didn't age at all, bro. That verse could have been recorded in like 91. His voice sounds good. Yeah. CL sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Planet Asia on there as well, and he kind of sounds more like Planet Asia than he did in the era of Her Favorite Color. He's obviously he's getting older.
Also a theme of the album,
which is a theme of the record. I think he's 40 years old now. So he doesn't sound
On
like,
The Hurt, he says he's almost 40. So
okay, yeah.
who knows
well,
when it was recorded? But
So yeah, in a way, I do feel like this record is just not for me at all. I don't really connect with it on like a very visceral level. Not to take anything away from his rapping ability, because he's still rapping his ass off on here.
Yeah, he's dope as fuck.
And the production is cool. Again, it's not really my wheelhouse. I think in terms of the production, there's some moments on here I really liked. There's a few beats that I enjoyed a lot, but they're a bit harder. You know, they're a bit more hard edge. They're a bit more banger oriented. The era of jazzy, distorted, you know, Curtis Mayfield samples or whatever, you know, is maybe passed for Blue, and that's cool. But that's kind of where I fall off.
Yeah, for me, I think the album's great. You know, Blue doesn't really miss when it comes to lyrics. He's always really good at, you know, even when like good raps of just rapping, even when he gets into denser concepts. But this is more of just like the former, you know, like just rapping a rap album. Even though there's a lot of themes on here that I'll get into a little bit later as we talk more about the songs and general content of it. But the beats are dope. Blue is dope. If you like Blue, this album's going to hit for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But of course, when it comes to like hip hop and how you connect with it, and with an artist like Blue, a lot of the things that he's saying are things that you don't necessarily listen to him like a battle rapper to hear like, oh, he stacked those fucking words like crazy. It's really good. And on this album, you know, everything is solid enough. The lyrics are dope. The beats are dope. I can't complain about it. There's some really good tracks on this album that are really good. I don't know if any of them hit me to be like, oh, okay, I got to play this song 10 times in a row, which is kind of how I digest my music sometimes. When I love a song, I'll play that shit over and over and over again. And I do that with like other media too. I watched Jaws twice this week and shit. You know what I mean? And but Blue is kind of an album that's like a currency. Or immerse, where he never phones it in really. He never dips in quality, and the rhymes are always at like at an even level of just being dope. And you don't hear a Blue verse and be like, oh, he was kind of whack on that. He's always just like, yeah, I mean, like, who can complain? That's really good. But it's also one of those things for me is like the beat kind of has to pull me in a little bit more to get me on board for me loving a Blue album if he's not going deep into a concept.
Sure.
And on this album, you know, lyrically, he's fucking nice with it. There's a whole lot of spirituality on this album. An abundance of Black Islamic lines, similar to the shit that caused controversy on the Jay Electronica verse.
Oh, on
right?
The
It's
Noname
all
record,
on the Noname record. It's a lot of it is 5% Nation of Islam, Nation of the Gods and the Earths, more Science Temple styled rhymes, and he's not as overtly caustic as
Jay is,
you know, Jay is, but he's still saying the same type of shit. But one of the things that kind of separates it as well is that for his kind of form of, you know, spiritualism, he also says that like everybody is Allah. You know, and that's like a thing, but he still drives home the point like Black people are original people. Black, you know, that's not the Jews. He doesn't say that, but if you read into the ideology, that's kind of what you get. And, you know, for me as a former 5%er, this is 20 years ago, and, you know, my political and even spiritual trajectory are fairly different than they were back then. You know, I kind of don't rock with these themes all the time. I didn't care for the Jay Electronica verse. It sounds like smart and shit, but like if you Google 5%ers, really it says exactly what it is. And even you know, the things that Blue is saying, there might be like nuggets of wisdom and upliftment, because the album's called Bad News, and he kind of addresses like shit's tough, shit's difficult, it's hard being human, it's hard being us, we'll overcome, we're dope too, I'm dope at rapping, I'm dope at life.
And I do like, you know, he does kind of carry that bad theme throughout. You know, obviously it's real bad man, so
and he kind of addresses it. He kind of addresses overcoming those issues with the spiritual aspects of the album.
Yes.
And just even if he was, you know, a Judeo-Christian rapper, I I still don't really enjoy all that type of stuff in my lyrics that make me go back to them and say like I'll rock with this and kind of like help boost my day or whatever. And that's kind of like one of the issues for the album for me. And I know I'm a bit more picky when it comes to that stuff. Most people, like, I watched the Fantano review of this album because I just wanted to see a contrast to what he was saying about the J Electronica Noname album, which he fucking, that's an unfair review, Fantano. That was a terrible review. You didn't address the music at all.
I think they have beef.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
sounded, I didn't watch the Fantano review because I don't really watch
he gave the album a 5. You know, I don't really care to shit on Fantano because at the end of the day, he's just a dude, and his politics to me, because of his reach, I kind of don't like it more because he's almost a bad actor because when he projects his politics, he does it with no nuance, and so he has a lot of influence over people who perhaps are not thinking for themselves. And you know, you could say that about anything, but I just kind of, when you have that much reach and you give an album like that 5, it's like the criteria is bad. I don't want to get too much into that, but I listened to it and it reminded me how, with all the esoteric themes and everything that's going on in this album, it reminded me how much people don't really know what the fuck. They don't know about their own religion. They don't know about the tremendous splintering of a variety of religions, and they particularly don't know anything about the esoteric black politics. Yeah. Morris Science Temple, W.D. Fard, Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, Clarence 13X, and that entire black sentiment that is deeply embedded in not only the Islamic aspect of the religion, but also the kind of Christian, you ghetto gods, they're Christians. They're not you know what I mean? But a lot of black politics have this same biodeterministic idea about the original man being Adam, and so the entire narrative reality places them in the spot of the Jews, right? Because they use this. They use the religion and then they reify it with they reify that abstract kind of history with the scientific data that we've developed in the 19th and 20th century about genetics. And this album just has so much of that, even to the point where it's just like Planet Asia is doing the exact same thing. It's like all God body. It's Nation of Islam God body shit. And I am fucking just picky with that because I was building with these cats and I've had arguments with these cats and I just don't agree with a lot of it. You know?
I mean, to be fair as well, part of the reason I think audiences, and I include myself in this, just don't resonate with a lot of the 5% of stuff that you hear in raps. Is because people just take the absolute most superficial elements of it and they don't really have much to say about it. To Blu's credit, I think he does actually probe those themes in a way more interesting way. Yeah. But you know, good. Like a few years ago, like Busta Rhymes had a track called Master Muhammad Fard. Okay. And like, I think there's like one it's just like, oh, we got money, like we out here, we're balling. Like, I think Rick Ross is on there as well, typical Rick Ross verse, right? And then he's like, I'm elegant like Master Muhammad Fard, and then it's kind of like, oh, okay,
well, that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? It's like, I just don't like, Noble Drew Ali, all those cats are dope, and there's really dope, rich history behind that, and I understand why a lot of black people, a lot of our brothers and sisters, so to speak, adhere to that. But for me, I just get kind of bored with it, and he does it really good, but there is a lot of that on this album, and I'm especially frustrated right now because the way people pick and choose what is controversial about this take when it comes to black people having that ideological foundation, which fucking name me one that doesn't really fucking rock with the shit like that. It's like fucking, it's all over the place. Doom Lines, Most Def,
like every
Quali,
thing ever.
Fucking Styles P, and in order to really understand the nuance of it, you kind of have to move even further left than that to get past that main religious aspect of it. Billy Woods might, and Elucid might say some 5% shit, but it's also part of the slang. I say 5% shit all the time. All the fucking time. And it's, I found it strange that nobody was, I looked on Reddit to see what people were saying about it, just because I wanted to kind of see. Nobody's talking about the esoteric aspects about this album, and it's fucking lyricism. Like, I thought you were supposed to do that sometimes, but yeah, it's good, and it's not all that but it's a lot.
There's
of
a lot
that.
of it. Yeah.
I really like a lot of songs. I don't want it to turn this all into mega discussing Nation of the Gods and Earths.
I mean, go for it. I'm sure people are into it.
Well, it's really good. There's a lot of really good songs on this that are not necessarily about that. One of my favorite songs on this album, top 3 for me, is "The Hurt." And on the second verse, you know, he says, "Yo, I'm going on 40, my prime done come and gone, but no, my fate says different the way you shape it. Make myself a great date. Today is what you make it. Been thinking about going back to school, graduating, but I get so faded. I can't pass basic maths. Face it, life ain't great for everybody. Used to be brokest, now I'm the oldest at the party. Pardon me, retirement is beating down my door screaming, let me in." You know, and he just goes on and on and on. And I'm 40 years old, and I'm probably not gonna, he talks about probably not being able to buy a house. And you know, one of the choruses, this is what it all boils down to: streets or the sound booth. And for me, I didn't start trying to make a rap career, but the streets, I was there. You know what I mean? I was there in the streets, and it wasn't like I was gangbanging, but I was fucking there. I was putting up graffiti. I was punching people in the face, drinking 40s, running from the cops, doing all the things that could have, you know, got me, it put me in jail, like my family members and shit. And I like that, and I feel the same sense of pressure as Blu on this.
Yeah, and that's something Blu's always been like a master at doing as well. You know, his introspective raps, which is most of them, he has just this really clear-minded view of the world around him and his own life. I think he's really, really good at, you know, presenting these in both a concise but very beautiful and poetic way. I do feel like maybe the production just doesn't quite match up with the like denseness of Blu's lyricism. A lot of them are just kind of like, oh yeah, this is cool.
I can
like
hear Conway.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like, oh, this could be like a Dilated People's beat or something. You know, like it's fine. Like it's good.
They're good. It just I don't feel like they have much personality.
Yeah,
of their own. Like they're good, but you know, like what I get, hip hop is supposed to be like, you know, different every time around. I guess not. This is just a solid album. That's really it. That's fucking really, really it. Shout out, peace to the gods. I actually got a conversation that I'm getting on the phone tonight with a god body. Who's like a real god body. He wants some help with the Japan type of thing.
All right,
like, to the point where he's got like the fucking universal symbol as his fucking
word. I think we talked about that last weekend. Yeah.
You know, it's no salt, but like what I would appreciate, like, if people want to build about this shit, I'm down to build. I still use those terms, like build and destroy. Like, I'm a Marxist though, and my spiritual aspect of that is Buddhism. It's Taoism because it doesn't contradict fucking dialectical material aspects of the world. Let's get it. Let's fucking get it. Secret House of... Oh wait, we gotta recommend this.
Yeah.
Favorite tracks and recommend this shit.
Favorite tracks. The Hurt. I need the track list.
Aladdin is so fucking dope. He goes off on this. We've got Cassius King, who he's done collabs with.
Yeah.
I'm not really too familiar, but that's dope. All Praise Due is dope.
Golden Rule. I mean, CL Smooth sounds amazing on there.
Yeah, I love Hebrews.
Yeah, there's plenty of great tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Hebrews,
basically listed every track on the album at this point.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't know if this, you know, this probably won't make my end of year list. I do think.
No, I don't think this will make top 20 for me.
All of my, you know, there's a lot to say in terms of the kind of surface critique on how like supremely competent everything is here. Blu has not missed a single step in 15 years. He raps his ass off every single time. The production on here, you know, it's clear, it bangs. Elspade would like it. It sounds good. It's clean. It doesn't personally resonate with me. You know, the God body themes obviously don't mean much to me as like a European. But
you haven't got knowledge of self yet.
I don't have knowledge of self. I don't know shit about myself. Like, I've been telling people that my name is Jet for 31 years, and like, it sounds fake, man.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, it's not real. I would recommend this album to people who like Blu.
Yeah,
just because, like, and you know, obviously it's like redundant. It's a Blu album. Like, if you like Blu, you like Blu. But you know, if you're someone who jumped on up below the heavens, this is not Blu in Exile. This is not, even Blue's own production. This is not Blue and Sam I Am. Like,
or Blue and Fat Jack.
Blue and Fat Jack.
Blue and
Right.
Fat Lip.
This is another incarnation of Blue. That, you know,
For what it's worth, it is a kind of pretty cohesive album.
Oh yeah,
in
terms of cohesion, everything,
Blue.
it works.
Yeah.
It's another side of a great MC who never really got his flowers in the way that, you know, a lot of his contemporaries did. And I guess, you know, I mean, I say that, but like, when was the last time you thought about Fashion or Dom Kennedy, right? Like,
Fashion. He was with Nas, right? He was with like fucking, what was it? Mass Appeal? He's on a Mass. Yeah. We haven't thought about him in a while.
Maybe he put out a great album this year. I don't know.
I'm not tapped in, but no, Blue is incredible on this. Real Bad Man does fucking work. I would recommend this. Oh, first let me tell you my favorite songs one more time as I get it off. I'll just pick 3. I like Aladdin. I like The Hurt, and I like Hebrews. And shout out to the Hebrews. Fucking And I would recommend this album to. I might have wrote who I recommend this shit to. No, I didn't. I didn't write who I'd recommend this to. I would recommend this to fans of. I would recommend this to to Planet Asia fans.
Planet Asia.
Yeah, Planet Asia fans would definitely like this. I recommend this to the God Bodies. Yeah, I think this is fucking perfectly competent, really dope, really interesting shit. He fucking drops the knowledge in the way that you would want it to be. It's just that, like, you know, I don't go to church retreats to get my knowledge. And yeah, damn, I be talking shit. Peace to Blue, peace to Real Bad Man, peace to all the God Bodies. I'm still rocking with y'all 100%, but I want to build.
Peace to our Patreons as well.
Yeah, we got a new Patreon this week. Shout out to the Sonic Cloth. Yeah, check out everything. Secret House Against. Yo, Jet, you haven't been saying fuck the alt-right. Is it safe to assume that you now support the alt-right?
Yes, I saw like a post. I think I sent it to you, and I was like, Mega, I'm a white nationalist now. And it was like, Mango says that you were age phobic against somebody else. And I looked at the post, and you have a history of problematic behavior, and like, I'm pretty sure it's like some shit that some guy on 4chan made up to like piss people off, but they succeeded. So yeah, I am now a fascist.
Tight.
And yeah, look forward to seeing me hanging upside down from a gallows like my boy Mussolini.
Hey, Secret House Against.
Secret House.
Love the alt-right.